I just want to thank everyone for being here with us today. Our topic, as you can see, is iMaster NCE Campus Installation on single VM. Our presenter is Kashif Ali. I think that many of you already know him. He is one of our best webinar hosts. Actually, he won the Best Webinar Host Award last year, and I think he has many chances to win it this year as well. So I just want to thank you, Kashif, for hosting another session. It's always a pleasure to work with you. You are a true professional, and I'm glad that we are working together.
Thank you.
And as I said, if you have any questions for our presenter, please use the chat option. Kashif will check the chat from time to time, but of course he will not stop frequently. So please wait for the live Q&A to share your questions if, I don't know, if nothing is urgent. If Kashif doesn't have time to answer all your questions today, you can post your questions under this post that I shared here in the chat, and he will be able to check your questions later in the community, okay? So thank you all for being here today, and now I will let Kashif start his presentation, okay?
Thank you, Alina. I think we should start now.
Sure.
So first I will start from my introduction. My name is Kashif. So I have 17 years plus experience on planning, designing, and service delivery on multiple vendors like server storages, network, cloud, virtualization, backup, and networks, etc. And I have 2 HCIE certification as well. One is cloud and the other is storage. And I was the winner of Huawei 2021 as well. So this was just a little introduction about me. So let's start. What will you learn in this webinar? So basically this webinar is about the iMaster NCE Campus Installation. So it is not about the features of NCE Campus or configuration. It is not about the configuration or any features. So we'll be discussing only installation. So we'll be learning that how we can find the right software from the portal, from where we can download the software, from where we can get the documentation. We will see how we can do that. And then our installation will be on the virtual environment. Because if you want to do POC or you want to do some testing, so you need to do it on the virtualized environment, because you don't have always the Huawei servers available. So if you have the server available, you have the virtualization platform, so you can use that platform to install iMaster NCE Campus. You can use it in production as well, but it is recommended to have clustered environment for production. And then we'll see how we can import the VM to the virtualization in platform, and then we will install the iMaster on that VM. And after installation, we will be verify the installation, and then we will log in and check all the services are running or not. So basically, this is okay. What will be included in this webinar is already we have discussed that this webinar is only about the installation. And then once we have some slides on we will have some theory on the installation from where we can get the documentation and all the things. Then we have a lab as well. So I will be doing lab, that how we can install it so that you can learn how you can install it using lab. And then we have question and answer. So I will try my best to answer your question, but please be relevant to the topic, because this webinar is about the installation, not about the configuration or any features. So this is about the installation only. If you have any question about the installation or deployment, so I will try my best to answer your questions. So I just put this slide for introduction. I think all of us knows about the NCE Campus. NCE, actually, Huawei Cloud Campus 3 solution is fully wireless intelligent cloud campus network. Actually, in this new era, we need something which can have the power of network-wide automation in AI power. which has intelligent O&M, centralized management, and we have one global network. We can create multiple tenants, we can create multiple sites, and we have one dashboard, and we can manage all the devices. And the iMaster can work as a controller as well. If you don't have the controller, wireless controller, so you can use this as a controller as well. It has the NAC function as well. And in the new version, in iMaster NCE Campus, we have the option to install SD-WAN component as well. So previously SD-WAN was separate from NCE Campus, but now it is included. When we are doing installation, so we can see that there's an option to install SD-WAN, but it depends that how much CPU, memory, and disk space you have available. So when you are adding components, so you need better hardware for installation. So basically it will provide a dashboard, so you can monitor, you can configure all of your wireless devices. Even you can add switches as well, and it can support ZTP. ZTP means zero touch provisioning. So if, for example, you have switch, you just plug it to your network, it will be automatically connected to the iMaster, and then you can configure it from the iMaster GUI. So the recommendation is to configure all the devices from iMaster GUI. If you are doing it from the CLI, from the switch directly, it will be not synced to the iMaster server. So it is highly recommended to do all the configuration from the iMaster server. So this was just basic idea, but there are a lot of features available in iMaster NCE Campus. So hopefully if there's any webinar we will be trying to arrange webinar on the iMaster NCE Campus features. So definitely we'll discuss these things. So now, from where we can find the installation guides. You have to go to the support. Let me get the laser, sorry. That's not working, just leave it. Okay, we have to go to the support portal. Then we have to select the network management and control analysis. And then you have to select the iMaster NCE Campus. Once you select the iMaster NCE Campus, so you will see there are multiple tabs: documentation, knowledge, and software download. So you have to select the documentation. In documentation, there are multiple versions available. So when you are planning, so you need to know which version you are trying to deploy. So you have to search for the exact documentation, because in every documentation there are little difference. So you have to use the correct documentation. You have to select the version, and then once you select the version and the patch number, then you will see there are in documentation set you have two options. Either you can view it online or you can download it. So you can use online browser to view all the documentation or all the topics, or you can download it locally. So this is how you can download the guides. Okay, now where you can find the installation scenario. We have different scenarios. This one is for VM. You can create 3 VMs or in cluster, or you can use 1 VM for testing purpose or for POC purposes. You can use it for small environment as well. If there's a small requirement, so you can use 1 VM only. And the second option is iMaster NCE in single hardware. If you have 1 server only, so you can install it on 1 server only as well. And the third one is cluster. The minimum cluster requirement is 3 nodes. So you can create 3-node cluster to install iMaster NCE. But there are a lot of scenarios here available. So you can see that these are the scenarios. So you can select your scenario as per your requirement, and then you can go through the document and you can follow it, and your installation will be completed successfully. Actually, the installation process is a little bit complicated, but not that complicated. If you follow the proper documentation, so you will be able to install it successfully. But we are getting a lot of calls from partners that they are unable to install it, but it is not that much. You have to follow the documentation. Then the next, how to find the required software. Actually, to find the software is a big challenge. There are a lot of versions, a lot of patches. So you can discuss with the Huawei teams that which version is stable, or there's a thumbs up. You can see there's a thumbs up as well. This is the recommended version. So you can use this version, or you can discuss with the local Huawei team as well that which version is better to install. But you can also install the latest version for testing purpose as well. But it depends on the version that which one is recommended. So once you select the software, so you will see that there's you will see all the software. These are the software available to download, but there is a problem. You cannot download this software directly. You have to apply for the permissions. And if you are installing it on the customer side and it is in the production environment, so you have to provide the contract number and the project detail to get the permissions from Huawei. Without permission, it is not, you cannot download this software. And if you want to do it for testing purpose, so there are some non-official versions also available. These are the non-official version. So these are the T versions. So you can request Huawei team, they will approve your request for testing and POC purpose. So it is possible to download the non-official version if you are not doing any production installation. So you can use the non-official version for test environment. I'm also using the non-official version for this lab. Okay, in the previous slide, you can identify the software if you know the exact version number, if you know what is your requirement, what is the you should know that your server is Huawei server or customer have provided this server, or you are doing it on the hypervisor. So you have to go to the website and you have to search for the relevant software. But if you want to do it easily, you can use this EasyGet software. When you go to this website, you can select the iMaster Campus version. Which hardware do you have? Is it a x86 or Titan server, and which operating system you want to install, Euler or SUSE Linux, or you want to install it on the virtual machine or on the physical server. So it will automatically list all the required software. So you don't need to check that you are downloading the right software or not. But here is a problem. You have to select. There are around I think 60 or 70 packages. So you have to click on all packages to download it. But there's an option. Here's the option full download. If you click this button, it will give you a link, download link. So that link can be used to download all the software. It will automatically download all the software. So there will be no very less chances to miss some packages. So how to use this link? If you click on this full download link, it will provide you a link. To use that link, you need to use ICS Lite. ICS Lite can be used. You can create a new task and just add that link to the ICS Lite. It will automatically download all the files. So you don't need to worry about the packages. All the packages will be automatically downloaded, and there will be no chance to miss any packages. So actually, identification of the packages and downloading of the packages is tricky. So that's why my recommendation is to use EasyGet and then download using ICS Lite. So you will not face any issue during installation. So most of the people, they are downloading software manually. They are facing whenever when they start the installation. So they are getting the errors that the file are missing. Maybe there are some certificates are missing. So they are facing these type of issues. What are the server requirements? Actually, these requirements are already mentioned in the deployment documentations. That what are the requirements for a single node, what are the requirements for the minimum cluster, and what are the requirements for VM. As you can see that we need 32 cores and 128 GB RAM. Okay, there's a trick if you want to install it on the virtualization environment. So you can use thin LUN. For example, you have less space, so you can assign thin LUN and you can use it. I will be doing the same. So I don't have space available, so I'll be using the thin LUN to get these space requirement. So it is possible. And for the NIC in virtualized environment, at the backend, there are multiple physical interfaces. So we can create NIC teaming, and using that NIC teaming, we can use one VNIC in the single VM. So in single VM, we require only one VM for the management and for the device registration. So we don't need two NICs. Okay, once we download the media, so in media, we have a template. This is the template. This is a OVF file. So you have to import a VM, select the template, and then you just name it. This is iMaster server, and then you have to select the CNA, and then you have to provide the data store and CPU, memory. All these things should be configured here. And then when you click OK, so it will deploy the template over the Fusion compute, and your VM will be up and running. Once the VM is installed, so the VM will be booted. It's a Euler OS, as we can see, this is Euler OS. So we'll be logging using root password. So the default password is admin12_123. From where I get these information, these are also available in documentation. If you see the documentation, so there's a link to download a username and password file. It's a big file. There are a lot of username and password. These are the default passwords for all the users. So you can find all the username and password in the that document. So that document is also available in the documentation. So don't worry about the passwords. Once you are logged in, so we need to set up the IP address, subnet, gateway, and hostname for the machine. So in Linux, it is possible you can run manually commands, but Huawei has provided these scripts. You can run this script, and it will automatically it will start asking about the IP, host name, the gateway, all the things. So you just need to enter all these things, and once you enter these things, it will be automatically set up. So you don't need to do it manually. So just for your information, in a physical machine and virtual machine, there's no big difference. Installation, there's only one difference. You have to create RAID levels on the disk level. And for network card, you have to create bond. So this is just a minor difference. If you see the documentation, this is a just minor difference. If you want to install on the iMaster on the physical server, so you just need to follow the physical server guide, and there's no big difference in the installation process. Okay, for installation, we have to use EasySuite. EasySuite is for example, if you have a PC, this is your PC, and this is your server, and VM is running here. So these two should be reachable within one network. In this PC, you have to download all the software. All the software should be available in this PC. So in packages, once all the packages are downloaded, so you will see that there's iMaster NCE Campus EasySuite for Windows. There's one version for Linux is also available. If you want to do it in Linux, so it is also available. So you have to extract this package. Once this package is extracted, so you will see this hierarchy. Then you have to copy the iMaster ES solution to this folder. You have to copy it here. This is very important. And these all steps are already defined in the documentation. A lot of people are doing mistake they're not copying this to the EasySuite folder. So when they run the EasySuite, so they are not able to see the iMaster NCE Campus packages. So this is very important. You have to copy this file from the main folder to here. This is the hierarchy. Yes. For example, this is your main folder. All the packages are here. So you have to copy it here. It is shown here. This will be your hierarchy. So this is the EasySuite folder. It is already copied. Then you have to run the start.batch, and you will see this screen. This is actually a web-based interface. It will automatically create a server, and you will be able to see this screen in the browser. It will automatically be automatically open. We will see in the lab. So as we discussed, you can get the default username from the document, and then you can log in it. Once you log in, so there are multiple options. You have to, there's a installation, commissioning, migration, upgrade, expansion, management. So we have to go for the installation because we are doing new installation. So you have to select new installation. Okay, so Zoom is not working. Okay, the picture is not clear, but I will show it to you in the lab. It will ask for this is the iMaster NCE Campus, and this is the version. We are doing single node, 5K devices support, and we have to select the language, or this picture is little old. We have here the SQL manager, and the SD-WAN option is also available. So we can select SD-WAN as well. And after that, it will ask for the packages. Where are the packages are located? So you have to copy just the path of the packages and just paste it here where the packages are located, and click on load button. It will automatically copy the packages from your folder to the Easy Suite folder. And then you can run the integrity check. Once the integrity check is completed, the integrity check is very important. If your software is completed, downloaded, everything is okay, it will pass. Otherwise, it will fail. A lot of people fails in that stage. Okay, then the next step is there are some parameters for. Okay, you have to define the iMaster VM IP. That what is the IP of iMaster VM, and what is the password of that VM. And you can set the time zone, and these are the Ethernet. There are two Ethernet. One is for internal communication and one for external. We have only one Ethernet, so we will add only one Ethernet. And after that, there's another tab. You have to define all the password for OS user, sys user, DB user. All the users are here, and for the service portal and for the management portal. These are the users. You have to set all the password. So once you set all these passwords here, so your default password will be no more valid. You have to use these passwords. The next step is it will check all the configuration, that your hardware configuration is okay, your operating system configuration is okay. It will check everything. These are the checks. All these checks will be running on your system. And once this is successful, then you can start the real installation. So this once you reach here, so it's mean that you can start your installation, and hopefully it will be completed. So after this stage, I never get any error. So you will be able to do the complete installation. So this take a long time. I think it will take 1 or 2 hours, depending on the network speed and the server speed. So once the installation is completed, then we can log into the iMaster management portal. There are 2 portals. One is management portal, and the second one is service portal. For management portal, you can manage iMaster services, configuration, all these things. And from service portal, you can add the devices, tenants, sites, and MSPs. So the service tenant is different. So from here, we can see, we will check that all the services are running fine. If everything is working fine, then we will go to the service portal. This is the iMaster NCE Campus Service Portal. We can use it. As we can see, the password you already mentioned in the installation, you have to use that password. The username is admin, and you have to use the password you have already provided during the installation. Okay, so let's go towards the lab. Okay, so I have Fusion Compute already installed. Once you download the complete media, so it will download the Fusion Compute as well. So if you want to learn about the Fusion Compute, so I have delivered some webinars on Fusion Compute, how you can install it, how you can set up it. So you can go and check that webinar as well. But in this webinar, I have already installed the Fusion Compute. So let's log into this. Okay, this is, I have only one CNA, and iMaster is already installed, but we will install a new one. We will deploy a new one. Okay, for network, I just wanted to show to you that in CNA, if you go to the CNA, so you can see that there are multiple network cards available. So it depends on your configuration. These are the network cards available. If you want to do port aggregation, so it is possible. You can add a port aggregation here, and you can aggregate 2 ports, and then you can use it for that VM. But we have already, there's management aggregation, we will use this one. It has only one Ethernet. So we can add another one as well for redundancy. So it is possible. And in storage, I don't have that much space. As we can see, I have already installed one iMaster. It is using 1200 GB space, but the actual space is 300 GB. But I'm using thin provisioning, so I can install it. So the real space requirement is less than the actual requirement, so we can do that. So you can do this technique to install it in your virtual environment if you don't have the space available. Okay, I want to show you the documentation first. So to find the documentation, you need to go to the Huawei support portal. And then you have to select the network management and control analysis. After that, you have to select iMaster NCE Campus. As we discussed, you can select the version. R22 is the latest. And the release. And we have the product documentation set. This is the product documentation set. So both are available here. So you can view it online, or you can download it. So this is how you can find the documentation. And for software, you just click the software tab. I'm not logged in. Let me log in it first. Let's see, after login, I'm seeing a lot of versions and non-official versions as well. So you can download any of them if you want. If you click on the software, so you can see all the software available here. But once you click on the software to download, it will ask for the permission, and it will redirect to the permission page. So you can apply for the permission. But from here, it is very difficult to identify the software if you are expert, so you can do that. But if you want to do it using EasyGet, so I think that is the better way to use to download it is using EasyGet. For example, this is EasyGet. You just need to select the enterprise, new installation, iMaster NCE Campus, and these are all the version available. So I'm selecting the T version. I have a Huawei server. You can select customer provider server or public cloud. I have Huawei server, and it is x86 server, and I'll be using Euler OS, and there's a physical and virtual machine, both options. So I'll be selecting virtual machine. So when you press OK, so it will show you all the available packages. See, all the packages are here. So as I have discussed with you that there are 42 packages available. So you have to click it 42 times to download. So the best way to download it using full download, or you can download only one folder as well if you want to do. See, this is the download link, and it is recommending you that you have to use the ICS Lite to download. You just copy this link, and you can put it to the ICS Lite and download it. So this is the best way to do it. For example, this is the ICS Lite. You have to create new task, and let me try if it can work. Let me assign a folder. Okay, create a new folder. Yes. You click download. See, it will start down automatically, and all the packages will be downloaded automatically. So you don't need to worry about the packages. So I will recommend to use EasyGet and ICS Lite to avoid errors. Otherwise, maybe you will face some errors during the installation. So now let's go to the deployment phase. Let me create a VM, deploy the VM. We have to import the VM. First, let me show you the data, the downloaded data. Okay, this is the iMaster folder, and these are all the packages required to deploy iMaster. So you can see these are all required. Lot of packages. So that's why I'm suggesting to use EasyGet and ICS Lite to avoid errors. So these are a lot of files. Okay, so the OVF is in this folder already. So I have extracted it, and let's deploy it. I will import a VM. You have to select the folder, the file, sorry. This is the OVF file. This is the OVF file already downloaded in the download folder. Next, let's name it iMaster 2. iMaster 2, we have to select the CNA. The CNA means the hypervisor on which the hypervisor is running. Okay, I have 2 data stores, so I will use this local data store for the boot disk, and I will use the shared store for the data. So let's use this local. So we have to provide 32 cores. I will use 32 vCPUs, and we need 128 GB RAM. And these are the network ports, cards, VNIX, but we don't need all these. We will use only one. We do not need to customize it because it is already a template. Click OK, it will start automatically. So it will create a task, and it will deploy our VM. So this VM include Euler OS and all the necessary packages for the iMaster installation to support iMaster. Because in Linux, as we know, there are some dependencies, all these things are required. So it is already done. We just need to install iMaster. We have to wait for a while. It will be deployed. So the OVF template is, this is the beauty of OVF template. It will deploy in, I think, in 2 or 3 minutes. So you don't need to wait for too long. That's it. If you install it manually, so it will take a long time. So now we will see iMaster 2. Yes, this is the iMaster 2 machine. It's power on now. Let's get the console. Okay, for this machine, as we know that you need a default username and password. The default user is root. And the password is admin_123. So it will ask to change the password. The current password is admin_123. I will set a new password. So a new password is set. Now we have to configure the network configuration for this machine. because we have to deploy iMaster from the Easy Suite. So we need IP for this machine. Let me set the IP for this machine. These are some scripts which is provided by Huawei. So we can use this to configure it. So it is asking that what you want to do. You want to modify, you need to set just host name. I will select one. I want to add the IP address. So it is asking which Ethernet interface you want to add the IP. So I'll select 0. Asking for the IP, so I'll provide the IP 72.16.1.220. We'll use 220. Subnet mask 255.255.255.255.0. This is the subnet mask. Oh, sorry. 255.255. Okay, you have to define gateway. If you are not defining the default route, so your installation will fail because it will check the default gateway. So we need to add the default gateway here. 6.1.100. This is the default gateway. The network stream is default, so I will use 0.0.0.0. I want to use it as a default gateway. 0.0.0.0. Do you want to host name? Yes, I want to set the host name as well. So the host name is iMaster 2. Now it will automatically configure your IP address, host name, default gateway, everything will be configured automatically. You can do it manually, but if you have the scripts available, so we can use this. So it will set the IP address. iMaster 2 is illegal. Oh, sorry. We have to provide the IP first. 172.16.1.220. This is the IP. First, you have to provide the IP and then the host name. My mistake. iMaster, my master 2. Now it will configure. So it's the what is the error? Maybe the IP is in use. Let me change the IP. I think 220 is already in use. I need to use 221. And 6.1.221. 255.255.255.0. Yes. 72.16.1.100. Default 0.0.0.0. This is also default. We have to configure the host name as well. 1.221. iMaster 2. It is already added in the host file, so that's why it's not working. Now it's done. We can remove the iMaster from the host name. No. Today my lab is a little slow. It's okay now. So, okay, there's a trick. It is not in the documentation, so I want to share with you. Your installation will fail if you are not doing that. One thing is in the documentation, but the second one is not available. Let me. Okay, we have to escape this. We need to add disk 1200 GB disk for the data, and we need 200 GB disk for the OPT to install the software. So in this machine, we have to add disks now. So this is the disk portion. Attach disk. First, I will create a disk. This should be, let's say, 200 GB. This is required for OPT to install the software. This is for OPT. And you have to use thin provisioning. This is the trick you have to use if you don't have space available. Let's create this disk. We need to add another disk. This disk will be required for the data. So the requirement is 1200 GB. 100 GB, and I have to select another data store. This one. This is for data. So we have to wait for a while. The disk is created. This OPT is created with 200 GB, and the other will be 1200 GB. Yeah, it's created now, as we can see. No, the space, I think the size is not correct. Adjust the capacity. It should be 1200. Actually, the lab is a little slow, so I think it was not properly edited. We have to wait to create the disk. You can check it from here. It's failed. Okay, let's do it again. Let's delete this disk and create data one. It should be thin provisioning. Create 1200. Select the data store. Share data store. And then we need to select the thin provisioning. It's changing again. So the 1200 thin provisioning shares should be created now. You can check the status from here as well. It's creating the disk now. So once this disk attached, so we will mount the OPT. Let's go to the console and mount the OPT. So 200. We have to reboot first. So once the system is rebooted, then we will mount the OPT file system, and then we will start installation. Let's see that this is created or not. Yes. This is created, and we can see it in the configuration as well. So this is the disk. As we can see, we have 3 disks now. This one is the boot disk. This one is for OPT. This one is for data. This OPT is not mentioned in the documentation. So if you are not creating this, so your installation will fail. So you have to create this manually. And this data is already mentioned in the documentation. So let's see if the machine is up. Okay, our machine is up. So now we have to mount the OPT file system. To check the partition size, you have to run fdisk-l move. We have to search for 200. This is the 200 GB disk, dev-vdb. So let's create partition on the dev-vd. Disk slash dev slash vdb. There are no partition, so we will add a partition. You can see that partition is created. Yes, we have to write it. Now you have to create file system in this partition. We will use ext4, vdb1. File system is created. Now we have to add this to FS tab to add it to permanent mount. vi etc fs tab. Okay, I will copy var. Just copy the var and change it. Okay, so vdb1. To change this. Our mount point is OPT. So we will mount it on the OPT. We need to mount this file system on OPT. So Now configuration is completed. I think it is /dev vdb1 opt 84. Let me check if it is vdb1. Yes, vdb1. Okay, we can mount it. I think the spelling is incorrect. It's not saved. I think they're not saved. Let me zoom it. I can't see it. And that is a little slow. So sorry for that. vdb1, and it is on var. We need to use /opt. And that is very slow. We'll try it again. So we'll use opt. I think it's okay now. It should be saved now. Now the file system is mounted, so now we can start installation. You can see it is mounted now. So now we will start the easy suite. So I have already copied this easy suite to my E drive. This is the easy suite for Windows, and I have already copied the ES solution already. So to save time, so I have already copied here. When you start, so it will disappear and it will go to the respective directory. So I have already copied. So I'm skipping that step. So we have to start it from here. Let's start the easy suite. So you can log in it using default username password, and then it will ask to change it. I have already changed it, so I will use my own password. Agree. As we discussed, we have to do the installation. This is the project name. You can keep it whatever you want. And then you have to select the product, iMaster NCE Campus. This is our version. This is the T version for testing purpose. We will use only product. and we need 5K devices supported. And this is the single node deployment. Save it. We just to change the language only, nothing else. Just change the language, and you can also select the add-ons. So as I have discussed that you can select SD-WAN as well, CCO manager as well. It depends on your VM configuration. So I'm not selecting SD-WAN. I'll be doing it without SD-WAN. You have to click next. Okay, so as we already discussed, that you need to copy the path where your all media is located. So you can load it. I have already loaded the media. So for example, this is our path. You have to go to the iMaster media. And this is our complete media. But you have to copy this path only. Just copy this path and paste it here. Just paste it here and load the software. It will automatically copy the media to the WAR software directory of the Easy Suite. And then you can run the check integrity. So this is very important step. If this step is passed, so it means that all your media, your certificates, all the things are valid, and you don't have issue in the media. Then we can go to the next step once this one is passed. If you have any question, you can ask now. Meanwhile, it is verifying. I'm unable to open the chat box. I don't know why. It's not popping up. So okay, we'll get all the question at the end. So it is now we're near to finish. So once this verification is done, so then we will add the IP and username and password, and then we'll validate it, and then we'll start the installation.
Kashif, let me know how much time you still have available for the live Q&A. I know your time is also very limited.
If they can ask now, because it is already verifying. If anyone have questions, so they can unmute their mic and they can ask about the installation.
I've seen many questions so far, but in case you have some questions that have not already been answered basically by Kashif's presentation, you can ask them now.
I'm unable to open the chat. I don't know why. I'm clicking on it, but it's not popping up.
Okay, I will read the question for you. Should the iMaster NCE Campus VM network be isolated from management network, or same network can be used?
Actually, for single node, you have to use single plan. You can use management and the device registration network as the same network. If you are using cluster node, so you can isolate it. You can use different network cards. And in single, it is recommended to use only one. In multiple and cluster, you can use different. For single in documentation, it is already recommended that you have to use only one NIC for all the traffic. Okay, this is.
There's one more question. Where can we get VM software for lab practice?
Already answered. It is all available on the Huawei portal.
If it's already answered.
So we have to put here the IP of the VM where we want to deploy the iMaster. Our IP was 2221, and the password, you have to provide the root password as well. This is the root password. So you have to select the time zone. So I'll select Karachi, and we are using ETH0 for internal communication and for service. As you can see, for single node, we are using the single NIC for service and north as well. So we'll be using ETH0. And we don't need internal communication because we are using only single node. It's not a cluster deployment. So NDP is not configured. We are doing hardening as well. That's it. Now we have to do the password configuration as well for all the users. So you have to provide the password. I will provide the password. So you have to provide all these passwords. Okay, so you have to put all the passwords. Okay, there are two portals. One is a management plan, and the other is service. So you have to add password for these as well. So we have to save this configuration and then select next. Now you have to start check. It will check everything and then we'll start installation. Now, if there are any question, please ask. It will take some time to verify. Alina, is there any other question? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, there are many questions. Do you want me to read some of them because it's difficult to keep track? I don't think we'll have time for all of them.
Can you ask them if they can? We can unmute their mic and if they can ask any question. I'm unable to see the chat. Maybe there's some problem.
Okay. Does anyone want to use the raise hand option to ask the questions?
If so,
can iMaster NCE Campus be integrated with other network management tools?
There are APIs available. You can integrate it, but the best usage of iMaster is to use it with the same Huawei hardware. So it will give you the best result. It can be integrated with the cloud as well. So once the checks are completed, so then we have to click next, and we have to start install. Okay, now the installation has been started. So it will take 1 hour 40 minutes. So we cannot wait for this. I have already installed iMaster. So after this, once the installation is completed, so we can log into the management portal. This is the management portal. And I will use the This is the management portal. So we will verify if the installation is completed successfully or not. So from here, you can go to the maintenance and you can check the health status of the installation. So the installation is completed and these are the services are running properly. This is the backup schedule. So it's not working, no issue. It's not a big deal. These are all the services are running properly and you can list down all the services. Everything is fine. You can see all the services are working fine. Everything is running. Now, once you verified that the installation is completed successfully and working fine, then you can go to the iMaster login and you can log in here. This is the service portal. This is the service portal. From here, you can add MSPs, standards, and sites, and you can add devices and you can do the configuration. All the things can be done from here. So this webinar ends here. So I think we took a lot of time, but this was mandatory to understand how to install it and how to manage it. So if you have any question, please let me know. I'll try my best to answer.
There are many questions, Kashif, but trust me, I'm not sure we have time.
Let me try if I can read some of them, but the chat is not working. Let me stop sharing maybe. Yes.
The chat is working.
I can see now.
You can see.
Let me try a couple of questions.
Okay, you can take a look and just select the most relevant ones maybe.
There's a question from Fahad, how we can take a backup of the iMaster NCE Campus. Actually, it is on the VM, so you can take a backup of the VM as well. And there's an option in iMaster Campus as well. You can take a backup of the configuration. So it's not an issue. There's a question from Sajid. Does iMaster NCE use Yang to monitor the devices, or does yes, both Yang and SMP both are supported. Okay. Okay. Technophobia has question: is iMaster is for LAN or WAN? For both, we can support SD-WAN as well. There's okay. There are some questions that are already answered in the presentation. Okay, there's a question from Saddam that what are the common errors during installation? So I have already mentioned that you have to use the right tool to download the software and right configuration. So you will never face the issues. You have to follow the process. Okay, there's a question from Half Engineer. What are the limitations of iMaster using single VM? There are no limitation, but it is a single VM, so you don't have the clustering available, and it can support 5K devices, so no issues. If you are going beyond the 5K devices, so then you have to add more nodes. It depends on the requirements. So, question from Saddam. It is already addressed. Okay, there's a question from Dr. Doom that can we use different virtualization environment for installation of the Huawei virtualization is mandatory? No, we can use VMware as well. There's a SUSE version also available, so we can use that as well. Let me see some more questions. There are a lot of questions.
Yes, there are many questions. Like I said, they can still ask the questions in the community.
Yeah, if you have a question, please add your question in community. I will answer it, and we will select best questions as well from that questions, because there are a lot of questions.
Yeah. So this is the link where you can leave a comment under this post.
Yes. As we don't have much time, so
yes.
So the basic idea was to you guys to know that how we can install the iMaster NCE Campus on a VM, because we are facing a lot of issue with the partners that they are unable to install it. So now you will be able to install it on the VM. If you have a question, please leave comment under the post. I will answer it, and we will select the best question as well from that post.
Yes, and I also want to mention again that in the same post, I will add the 3 questions. I will also ask you to show the 3 questions before we end
okay, let me show the question as well.
Yes, and you can answer the questions in a comment, and we will select 5 winners.
Okay.
Sorry. And we will also select the 3 best questions like Kashif also mentioned.
This is the first question. These questions will be uploaded to the forum, so you can answer there, not here.
Yes. You should answer in the forum, not here, please.
Yes. So this is the first question. This one is the second question. Very easy. We already discussed these things, so you can answer it very easily. And this one is the third question. Apology that I'm unable to get all the questions, but due to time constraint, it is not possible to answer these questions live. So we will answer your question on the forum. This webinar was a little lengthy due to the lab.
No, it's okay, but I'm sure that we would need 2 more hours to answer the questions properly.
Yes. Yes, no issues. I will answer the questions, all the questions. So they can put it on the community. I will answer it.
Sure.
Thank you all. That's it from my side.
Okay. I also want to thank everyone for, first of all, your interest in today's topic. I'm glad to see that there were many questions, which means that you're interested in today's topic. I hope that we will continue, like Kashif said, and I invite all of you to attend our future webinars as well. And please don't forget that in the community, you can share your questions, and also you can participate in the activity if you want to win high coins. I wish you all a good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are from. And I'm looking forward to your feedback. Let us know what topics you are interested in, and we will try to cover them in future webinars. So thank you all, and see you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you all. Thank you. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.